Welcome to Short Times, where we bring you the latest and greatest in movie reviews and recaps in just a short amount of time. Today, we're diving into the thrilling and action-packed film, Widows. The film starts off by introducing the main characters, as they are in the middle of a heist. The audience is introduced to Veronica, who is portrayed by Viola Davis. She is happily married to Harry Rawlings, played by Liam Neeson. Another couple, Linda and Carlos Pirelli, played by Michelle Rodriguez and Manuel Garcia Rulfo, own a shop and have two children, Xavi and Gracie. However, it is clear that Linda bears most of the burden when it comes to the running of the shop. Then there is Alice Gunner, played by Elizabeth Debicki, who is being physically abused by her husband Floric, portrayed by John Bernthal. He tries to make amends for his actions by being sweet and sincere afterwards. Lastly, we see Jimmy Nunn, played by Coburn Goss, kissing his wife Amanda, portrayed by Carrie Coon, goodbye. The four men are then seen being pursued by the police after the heist is completed. They manage to make it to their safe house, but a squad of police officers follow them there. Just as the thieves are trying to make their escape, the police open fire on their car until it explodes, killing all four men. We then see Veronica waking up alone. Following that in Chicago, where Jack Mulligan, played by Colin Farrell, is running for the position of alderman in the 18th Ward. His father, Tom, played by Robert Duvall, is a former political winner who is hoping that his son will follow in his footsteps. Jack's opponent in the race is Jamal Manning, played by Tyree Henry. The two have a confrontation when Jack visits Jamal's campaign office, which is located in a church. Tom is insistent that Jack must win the race, and that he can't be the first in their family to lose to a black man. Later, the women have to bury their husbands. Veronica, Harry's widow, attends his funeral and lays his remains to rest beside their late son, Marcus. Jack is also in attendance, and he tells Veronica that he knew Harry well and offers her his support if she needs it. Jamal and his brother, Jaden, also watch the service from afar. Amanda and Alice also attend the funerals of their respective husbands. Linda is at home and tries to console Carlos's mother, Lita, but she blames Linda for what happened to Carlos, claiming that he got into that life to support her and the kids and now his blood is on Linda's hands. In the evening, Veronica finds herself visited by Jamal, who reveals that Harry had stolen $2 million from him, money that he desperately needs for his campaign. To demonstrate the seriousness of the situation, Jamal grabs hold of Olivia, Veronica's small dog, by the collar. He gives her a 2-week ultimatum to come up with the money. Meanwhile, Linda goes to her shop to find that it has been repossessed. When she questions the men, they tell her that Carlos was the one who handled the lease on the store, and that it no longer belongs to Linda as he had fallen behind on payment. Elsewhere, Alice's mother, Agnieszka, played by Jackie Weaver, suggests that Alice should become an escort in order to support herself. When Alice refuses, Agnieszka strikes her. Veronica visits. She then goes to a bowling alley to meet a man named Bobby Welsh, played by Kevin J. O'Connor, who hands her a notebook that Harry had left behind and contains information about all of his previous heists. From the notebook, Veronica discovers that Harry's next heist had been planned to steal $5 million, and some photographs, which depict a man engaging in sexual acts with a younger woman and are clearly intended to be used as blackmail. At a nearby gymnasium, Jadam's associates come across two young men who were rapping. They bring them to Jadam, who reveals that the two men were supposed to be guarding the money that had been stolen from Jamal. In punishment, Jadam orders them to rap again before executing them. Jack is at a rally for an organization called Minority Women of Work, which aims to help women of color to establish their own business. A reporter questions him about his less ethical practice, and Jack walks away from the interview with his aide, Siobhan, played by Molly Kuntz. As they are being driven away, Jack expresses his insecurities about running against Jamal and the pressure he is facing from his father, but Siobhan advises him to just suck it up. Veronica reaches out to the other 3 widows and arranges to meet them at a spa. Linda and Alice show up, but Amanda doesn't. Veronica informs the other 2 about the situation with Jamal and how Harry had left behind plans for the next heist. Although hesitant, Linda and Alice reluctantly agree to join when Veronica emphasizes how much of a threat the Mannings will be to them and their families. Jamal visits a church to speak to Reverend Wheeler, played by John Michael Hill, for an endorsement, though it appears that the Reverend is already siding with the Mulligans. Jadam also visits Bobby at the bowling alley to attack and torture him for information regarding Harry's notebook, which he claims Bobby had given to Veronica. He later calls Veronica to ask if she sold it, and she lies and says she did. At a nearby hair salon, Belle, played by Cynthia Erivo, watches as her boss, Brichel, played by Adepero Odui, is forced to give up money to a large man sent by his boss. Belle questions Brichel about this, but she explains that she has to give up a cut of her earnings to those who allow her to keep her business afloat, namely Jack Mulligan. After work, Belle returns home to her mother, Suzette, played by Lily Mojgwu, and daughter, Bailey, only to receive a call about another job, prompting her to leave immediately and quickly run to catch the bus. She arrives at Linda's home to babysit her children. Linda joins Veronica and Alice at their husband's old hideout, where Veronica gives them money to get guns and a getaway van. She also gives them the blueprints for the heist. Alice goes to an auction to get a van and ends up paying more money than it's worth. To make things more difficult, Alice tells Veronica that she can't drive, so Veronica plans to recruit Harry's old driver, Bash, played by Garrett Dillahunt. Alice then goes to get guns and has a woman help her buy them since she doesn't have the proper documents to purchase firearms. At the same time, Linda attempts to figure out the blueprints for the heist, but she can't make out the word on the paper. She visits a man whose house she believes to be the target by posing as someone working for a company that owns the house, but she slips up when she mentions the man's wife, whom he says has been dead for 4 months. Linda breaks down when she mentions her dead husband. They start kissing before Linda realizes it's wrong and she leaves. Later, Linda joins Alice as the two go to a shooting range to practice. Alice does well, but Linda turns out to be a terrible shot. Alice joins an escort site and starts seeing a man named David, played by Lucas Haas, who is a real estate executive. He spots the blueprints in Alice's room, which he identifies as being part of the Mulligan home. Veronica finally meets with Amanda in a diner. Amanda mentions not being able to meet with Veronica previously due to taking care of her newborn baby. Because of this, Veronica chooses not to mention anything involving the heist. 1 week before the heist is set to take place, the Mannings visit Bash and murder him. Veronica finds out and tells the ladies that they need a new driver. Linda notices how fast Belle is, so she invites her to join the heist. Despite Veronica's initial reservations, she agrees to let Belle join due to her no-nonsense attitude. Veronica visits Jack to ask for help with Jamal, though he tells her there's nothing he can do, and that he learned from his father and Harry that you reap what you sow. While Veronica talks to Jack, the other ladies scope out the outside area to get a view of the external security. They also spend time at the hideout practicing how they will move the money around and how fast they need to move. Veronica goes to Amanda's apartment with Olivia to talk to her, but she is held up by her baby. Olivia then goes to a nearby closet and starts barking. Veronica looks over on the table and sees a flask that looks just like the one that belonged to Harry. Veronica walks over to the door, wanting to open it and none of her suspicions confirmed, but she grabs Olivia and leaves before Amanda comes back out. Amanda goes to the closet and speaks to the man inside, and it's Harry. Veronica drives away feeling overwhelmed. A flashback then shows how Harry set up his guys with a decoy in the driver's seat and fired 2 shots to get the police to fire at the van just before he set off explosives to obliterate his men. Next, we see Harry on a boat with Jack, as they have been working together, and Jack had ordered Harry to steal from Jamal. Another flashback shows how strained things got between Veronica and Harry just before the last heist took place. We then see back to 2008 when Marcus was driving and did an illegal U-turn to go back home and deliver something to Harry. He was pulled over by a cop and almost quickly shot to death when Marcus failed to show his hands. This broke Harry and left him desperate. Tom meets with Jack and expresses his anger over Jack's decision to fire the campaign manager who has been with their family for 30 years. He demands that Jack rehire the man, but Jack tells him that he looks forward to the day when he won't have to deal with him anymore, since Tom won't be there. Veronica tracks down Ken, the CEO of the Mulligan security company, and the man in the lewd photos she acquired earlier, and uses the information to blackmail him into giving her the codes to the Mulligan safe. The ladies gather together for the heist later that evening. Belle creates a diversion by firing flares into nearby cars, which allows Veronica, Linda, and Alice to enter the Mulligan property disguised with masks and voice-altering devices. They successfully make it to the safe and take all of the money. But as they are about to leave, Tom emerges from his room with a gun and orders the women to drop theirs. He unmasks Veronica and shoots Alice in the shoulder, but Linda shoots and kills Tom. The ladies run out of the house and head to the van, only to find Belle held at gunpoint by Jadam, who was sent by Jamal to take all the money. Jadam hijacks the van, but the ladies give chase and ram the back of the van, causing Jadam to crash and die. Linda takes Alice to the hospital to be treated for her wound. Veronica returns to the hideout and finds Harry there. She breaks down, furious over his betrayal. He tries to justify his actions, saying that he had to look out for himself and his new family. Harry turns to kill Veronica, but she shoots him dead first with the gun that Linda used to kill Tom. Veronica leaves the gun in Harry's hand and leaves with the money. Later on, it's reported that Jack won the election due to sympathy votes for Tom's death. Breach Hill, the salon owner, finds a bag of money left behind by Belle. She is outside with her daughter Bailey as they drive off to start a new life together. Alice is planning to start her own business, and Linda is able to buy back the shop for her and her children. Alice goes to a diner to meet a friend, and she sees Veronica sitting at a nearby table. A man then enters and sits with Veronica. She gives him a large sum of money from her share of the heist to help build a library, and requests that it be named after Marcus. Afterwards, Veronica follows Alice outside and greets her warmly. Widows is a movie that will keep you on the edge of your seat from start to finish. With a mix of action, drama, and suspense, this film is a must-watch for fans of the genre. The ending will leave you with a satisfying conclusion, and the message of the film will stay with you long after the credits roll. That's all for now. Be sure to tune in next time for more movie reviews and recaps on Short Times. Thanks for watching.